Dobro večer, poštovani gledalci, dobrodošli u novu emisiju Allman. Ovoga petka bit će nešto malo drugačija emisija s obzirom na to da ću morati da razgovaram na engleskom jeziku zbog moje gošće koja je došla iz Amerike, odnosno sa zapada Amerike, zapadnije ne može da bude, grad Los Angeles. Ona ima jednu veoma zanimljivu priču, ona je tamo rođena, tamo je odrasla, radila je jedan veoma zanimljiv posao u Hollywoodu. Naravno, družila se sa najpoznatijim glumcima koje vi svi uglavnom dobro znate i ona se zaljubila u momka iz Srbije i tu se njen život promenio. Ona je došla u Srbiju, ali više o tome reći će nam sama Nataly ili Natalija, kako bismo mi rekli. Nataly, welcome to my show.
Thank you.
Okay, I try to explain people who are you, what are you doing here, but I would like to hear about you something.
Okay.
First, I want to know how did you come to Serbia?
My husband's Serbian, and we were living in the States. I met my husband in Los Angeles, and we were in the States for 5 years together, and we had a son. And we agreed that once we started having children that we would move to Subotica, where he's from.
And how do you like here?
I love it here.
You love it here?
I do.
But you are not first time here, yeah? I mean in Serbia.
No, I was here, ironically enough, I ended up living here, but I was here when I was a kid, and my best friend of 30 years, her mother and my mother were friends as well. And one day, excuse me, she's Serbian, so that's the whole point of that.
Serbian.
She's Serbian, but my best friend was born in America. And I grew up always hearing the language and growing up in her house. You know, her parents always spoke Serbian. And one day my mom just woke me up at like 4 in the morning, and she had like a little suitcase packed for me, and she was like, let's go to Serbia. Well, at that point it was Yugoslavia. And so we did. So we flew out in the morning, and we ended up being here for, I want to say, about 3 months.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's too long.
It was, you know what though? It was my whole summer. So I spent my whole summer here, and it was so great because we got to go to the countryside in I'm gonna mispronounce this, but it's Aranđelovac, where I sold fruit at a little fruit stand, and lived with this baba and deda who made me crepes every day and homemade meals, and it was just this really sweet childhood for that summer. It was really neat, where a kid can be a kid type of thing. And then we went to the beach. We went to Hvar, and we went to Niš, and we tried. Oh, and then of course we were in Belgrade for a bit, and I remember the castles vividly in Belgrade. I was fascinated by the castles, and I just fell in love with this country. And strangely enough, I'm living here.
Yeah, you're living here.
Yes,
now.
Yes.
How did you meet your boyfriend, now husband?
Boyfriend, now husband. It's such a funny story.
Yeah, I know that, but I want to tell my people.
Okay, so I was driving around with that friend I was just telling you about. Her name is Alexandra, and we were going to our typical spot at this little bar that we always went to. And she gets a phone call as we're driving to this particular place, and it's this man that she had met like 8 months prior at a Serbian Easter function. And this was the first time he was calling. He asked for her number and never called her, and then he just calls her out of the blue. This is why I think meeting my husband was destiny. He calls her out of the blue and says, there's a Serbian night at this bar, and I wanted to know if you wanted to go with me. And
sorry, did you listen to Ceca there?
I did, because of her. I think Ceca might have been playing at the time when this guy called, because she always had Ceca in her CD player in the car. And so she puts the phone on hold, and she's like, this guy that I met like 8 months ago, and he asked me for my number, and he's just now calling me, and he wants to know if we want to go to this Serbian bar. And I said, yes, let's do something different. And and I like Serbians, of course. I grew up with her and her family, and I thought that, and I know that they're a lot of fun, so I thought it would be a good opportunity. So we went there, and she went off with her date, and I was sitting there on the couch by myself, and there was this guy sitting across from me, and he had on this pink shirt with all these designs on it, and he had this hair that was so curly because it had a bunch of gel in it.
That was a fashion before maybe 3-4 years in our country, maybe 5.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, that's why. Okay. So, and then he had this big purse, which now I know is a man purse. It's a man bag because you have your passport and, and all that and all your paperwork. But, most guys carry a wallet, and here's this guy with a purse. And he's looking at me, and he's checking me out. And I'm just like, oh dear, and I'm thinking of all guys, this is the guy that I get stuck with. And then he scoots over on the couch, and he sits next to me, and he says hello, and I said hi, and I said to him, I said, that's a really pretty pink shirt. And he was like, oh, well, thank you. And I said, did you just get a perm, like at the salon? He was like, no. And I said, oh, and I said, I like your purse. He's like, I just ripped him apart. And at that point, my skin wasn't at its best. I had a little bit of acne. And he said, he goes, have you had that acne for a long time? And I was like, oh,
he hit you back.
He got me back. And I loved that. Men never get me back. And he got me back. And we started talking, and he just instantly made me laugh. Everything he said made me laugh. And it was just instant chemistry. And it's like I'd known him 100 years. And then I found out that he was 20. The day before, he had just turned 21. He was a baby. I was 27. And when he told me how old he was, it just went out the window. I'm just like, oh, it was going so well up until he told me how old he was. I can't be with a baby, but he wasn't. We exchanged, or I gave him my number, and which I was hesitant to do because of his age, number one, and number two, I'd given my number out so many times and nobody ever called. Guys
thought he didn't.
He's not going to call. Exactly, but he did. The next day, I wasn't working. I was off of work that day, and I got up early in the morning, about 8 in the morning, and I went to go watch a movie, and my phone rang, and it was a number I didn't recognize, and I'm thinking to myself, no. And I picked up the phone, and I'm like, hello, and he goes, hi, it's Mickey, and I just wanted to see if I could come over and hang out with you today. And I was just like, wow. I mean, nice. For me, I know a lot of women would see that as too quick. But for me, that's what I wanted. I wanted somebody straightforward and honest, and that's what he was. And he called me, and he came over, and the rest is history. We were never apart after that.
That's really the right Serbian guys.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
And you are now together 7 years?
Yes.
7 years, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, one more interesting story is about your job.
Yeah.
You had the job of my dream, maybe.
Oh.
Job of dream, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what did you work there in Hollywood?
I was a makeup artist, but I was a celebrity makeup artist. I didn't start out that way. I started out when I was 16 years old working in a store. And I didn't even know how to do makeup. I loved it. I'd loved makeup since I was 10 years old, and I used to hang pictures of models and actresses on my walls, and I would try to copy the makeup, but it wasn't until, and then I went and worked at a store doing makeup, and as the years went by, I just got better and better and better, and I worked my way up. And then I got a job at a store that every woman dreams, every makeup artist dreams of working at, and it's called Barney's of New York in Los Angeles, in Beverly Hills. And it's a store that caters to the rich and famous. I got a job there, and I was there for 3 years, and while working there, you're doing makeup on a lot of celebrities, and if they like what you do, they ask you if you'll come to their home and do their makeup for award shows and stuff like that.
Like a private makeup?
Yes. Yes, private makeup at their homes, exactly. You know, for the Academy Awards, the Oscars, the music awards, you know, stuff like that, or even just premieres of their movies. I did a lot of that.
Can you tell us some of the names?
Sure.
Of your customer.
Of my customers, yeah. Kate Beckinsale, Jennifer Aniston, Liv Tyler, Angelina Jolie, Sharon Stone, it's really endless because this, as I said, this store is just for these people. So we saw, these people came in every single day.
Do you have a number of Jennifer Aniston?
Not of Jennifer Aniston. I actually had a very big phone book of celebrities, phone numbers, and the worst thing that could ever happen to somebody with a telephone happened to me, and it was when this happened about 4 months ago. I was trying to update my phone simply for Facebook. I was trying to update it to update Facebook.
Okay.
And I wiped out my entire phone. It just went black. God. And my husband took it to the phone guy, and my husband called me from the repair shop, and he's like, "Natalie, it's gone. Everything is gone."
That is the one of the problem. Whole our life is in the one phone. Yeah, that is
huge
the problem.
Huge problem.
Everybody do that.
It's true. It's true. And you know what? I depend way too much on technology. I think everybody does, but I've always been pretty computer illiterate, telephone illiterate, technology illiterate. And I always had like those little yellow sticky notes, and I always wrote everything on paper. And then when I got a job working for a fashion house, my boss had given me first a BlackBerry, and he said, "You need to learn to use this. I need you to know how to use this because you have a big job ahead of you." And so I was like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do with this thing?" I mean, I had one of those phones that came for free with the plan, and I was perfectly fine with that. And
where's the pen?
Yeah, exactly. And I was so scared. But then it took me about 1 month to really get the hang of this, and once I did, and I gave up my notepads, I was just like completely dependent on this phone, and then I upgraded to an iPhone, and now I don't know what I would do without that, and yeah, I lost all my numbers.
Oh God!
I know.
After the actors, you start to making up the models, yeah?
Yes, and that's a funny story because I didn't intend to do that. I wanted to get out of makeup for a while. I was burnt out on touching people's faces. And I just wanted to do something completely different. And a friend of mine, a very, very dear friend of mine, had said, well, she worked at a company called Joe's Jeans, which is actually where those catalogs you were just showing. And it's the biggest denim house in the States. One of the biggest. I'd say it was in the top 3. And she said, Joe, it's Joe's Jeans, and she said, Joe is looking for a personal assistant. He's never had one before, but he's telling me he wants one. And she worked for Human Resources, and she said, if you want to come interview with him, see what you think. And I said, that sounds cool. So I went and interviewed with him, and Joe's this really great guy. He's Moroccan French, and he's 40, and he's got hair down to here, down to his butt, and he dresses really cool, and he smokes cigarettes, and he's really laid back, and I sat down for the interview, and he was like, so what's your sign? And I said, Scorpio. And I go, what's your sign? And he's like, Capricorn, I think we'll get along. Okay, you're hired. That was
really?
It. That was it. And I worked for him for 5 years, and we were a match made in heaven. It's the best gig I ever had, like working for a company. And
we need the people in Serbia like he.
Yes.
Because here you can deploy very easily.
Exactly. No, it was great. But what's funny about that is I was looking to start something completely different, and then Joe, within about 6 months of working for him, I had my portfolio in my office, and because I was showing one of my friends who wanted to get her makeup done for her wedding, she wanted to see my book.
I will take this just to look.
Take a look. And Joe had seen my portfolio, and he said, you're a makeup artist. And I said, well, I was. Yeah, I did it for many years. And he said, do you want to start doing the makeup for my ad campaigns? And I was like, okay. And so I started doing it, and it was actually great. I realized that I missed it a lot. And so then that brought me into the world of models and modeling, and it was a whole different beast. And it was so much fun, and I got to work with a bunch of top models, and I loved it. So I got right back into makeup again.
Can you tell us how they live, the actors, the famous, in the private life, when they don't work?
Oh, well, they travel a lot. So they go to places like Ibiza, the south of France, a lot of tropical places, that's, I mean, they have good lives. I can tell you that much. They shop a lot. Oh, the amount of money these people spend, it's insane. And one shopping trip, you know, I've even Joe, the owner of this company, you know, he's a little bit of he's a celebrity in the fashion world. I can tell you that. And because I can definitely give you his perspective because I lived his life for him as his assistant. And he would send me with his credit card to, you know, to a store, and he would say, you know, I have this and this on hold, go pick it up. And it was like 2 shirts, and the total came to like $8,000. And I'm just like, my God. You know, so yeah, it's a good life.
Who is the good? Who is a good for cooperating, you know?
A good people, like
yeah,
good people?
Good people, yeah.
I have to say, I love Liv Tyler because she's just very, very, very sweet. Kate Beckinsale was one of my favorites. I remember this one time when I was working with Kate Beckinsale, I told her, I said, she was with her husband, and I said, Kate, I just got to tell you, you are such a beautiful woman. I think you're just so beautiful and so elegant. And with her little British accent, she's so sweet, and she goes, oh no, you're much prettier than me. And I'm just like, bless her heart. I mean, just so modest, so sweet. And here's this gorgeous woman, you know, and she's just a very down-to-earth, sweet, sweet girl.
The Julia Roberts, you told me, yeah?
Yeah. Julia Roberts is very sweet, but very quiet. She keeps to herself. She's very quiet. As for, I'm trying to think, do I have to say somebody that's not nice? I don't want to say that.
I would like.
You know what? I don't know if your viewers will know who this is,
Okay.
but it's an actress named Rebecca De Mornay.
Okay.
She.
Someone probably knows.
Yeah, she was in that movie, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. She was in that HBO show, John from Cincinnati, and I worked with her actually on that show, and she was a nightmare.
Really?
A nightmare. She made my life a living hell. But okay.
Okay, and your father?
Yeah.
He also worked in the Hollywood, yeah?
Yes, my whole family. Everybody.
Whole family.
My father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, my mother, it's a Hollywood family.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice family business.
It's family business, yes.
Okay, he had some friends, famous like Steven Seagal, yeah?
Yeah. Steven Seagal was like a family friend to us.
Excuse me, did you try to hit someone, sometimes Steven Seagal?
I'm not messing with that guy. No. Anybody but him.
That's smart.
No. Yeah, exactly. No. No, he was a really sweet guy. He really sweet guy. And him and my dad got along really well. And he was a good friend for my dad. They were really good together. And somebody that I really loved was Francis Ford Coppola, which I actually brought you a picture of. One of the many. This is when I was a kid. Every Easter we would go to Francis's house, and he would have a huge Easter party for the kids and his family and friends, and it was really extravagant and wonderful. And he just loved children. He often said that he got his ideas for movies from the young minds of children, because children were so innocent and so honest.
Your job, you also was actors, yeah?
I was.
In some movie.
Yes, yeah. Well, because of growing up in the business since I was born, it was just kind of natural for me to be in the business in some way. And so when I was a kid, my dad would get me in the movies that he was working on at the time, and with just little tiny roles. And then as I got older, as I got to be a teenager, it's something I really wanted to pursue. And so I got my headshots done. I got an agent.
This is one of the pictures.
That's one of my headshots.
Okay.
I got an agent, and I started going out on auditions. And funny enough, speaking of Steven Seagal, the person that I was always compared to was Kelly LeBrock, which was Steven Seagal's wife, and she was a model and an actress. And every time I went in an audition, the casting director would always say, "Oh, Kelly LeBrock," because she's quite a bit older than me. She's got 20 years on me. And so I got little bit parts here and there. I did a few independent movies. I did this movie called Seeing Things. I was a star of that, and I really liked it. But it wasn't. To be an actor in Hollywood, I mean, you really have to have no other choice in life. that has to be it. You don't know how to do anything else. You don't know how to any other career you don't know how to do. That is the only thing you can do, and that just wasn't the case for me. I had other passions. I had other things I loved, like the makeup and the
Wait, they don't have a time to do some other things, or
you don't. No. Especially when you're like really, you have to treat that as a job, but it's a job that doesn't make any money, because when you're auditioning, you don't get paid. You know, so that's the problem, and that's why we all wait tables. We're servers at restaurants, you know, because that allows us to go on auditions during the day. But I didn't have it in me to see if things would work out. You know, you have to have that belief that, okay, things will work out. I don't know when, maybe when I'm 50, maybe tomorrow, but I'm not like that. I'm one of those people that has to know where my next paycheck is coming from. And so I just decided, you know, it's fun and I'll do it on the side, which I did, but it wasn't for me to, you know, I didn't want to be a star.
And then you left everything that's there, you met the Mickey, and you came here.
I did. And it was so funny because one day Mickey and I were sitting on the couch about 6 months before we moved here, and we're thinking, okay, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We wanted to open up a business here, you know, but we didn't know what. And many ideas got tossed around, and then we were like, Mexican food. You know, because he's from Subotica. He knows what's here, and he's like, there's no Mexican food. So we came here, and within 6 months of living here, we opened up a Mexican restaurant called Loco Lobo.
Are you satisfied with that?
Yes. No, it's doing great, and he loves it, and I'm a stay-at-home mom here. And you know, I do makeup though. I do makeup at my house. So my goal for me now, I have 2 children. I have a 2-year-old son and an 8-month-old daughter. And now that she's, you know, gonna be, you know, a year old pretty soon, they're both off to school, and then it's me. And then I plan on, you know, going right back into doing makeup. And my goal is to do Seiza.
But you can't take same money like in USA, yeah, for makeup.
Oh God, no. Oh no. No, I feel bad even saying that too.
Okay, you don't have to say if you don't want.
How much I made?
Yeah, you don't have to say.
Yeah, no, it's a substantial amount. Yeah, it's a lot of money. I made a lot of money back then, but that's okay. All right.
Okay, we go to the one music break, okay?
Okay.
Dakle, nakon muzičke pauze se vraćamo u studio, nastavljamo sa engleskim jezikom. One of the rule in my show is that you take some of the balls, show in the camera, put there, and I will ask you some questions. Okay?
Okay. You ready?
Start. Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's see. 25.
Okay, you can put there. If you have something,
God,
maybe you don't have.
I don't have. No, I'm such a lucky girl. I'm so blessed.
It's very nice.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Pick another one?
Pick another one.
Okay. 14.
14.
What did I change about myself?
No, in the city.
Oh, if I could change anything in the city, what would it be?
Yeah.
That the economy was better, so that people would be better off and happier. That's all. I love this place. I wouldn't change anything else.
Please do that if you can.
I want to. That's my goal. That is my goal. Yes.
Okay.
And you know what my other goal is, in terms of changing the city, is something that we did back in LA, or that I noticed, is people smile a lot at strangers.
Where?
In LA. Yeah, definitely not here. So, so like when you're walking past somebody on the street, strangers smile at each other, and I was really big on that, because I found that when you smile at somebody and they smile back at you, it's like just keeps you happy all day, you know? And I came here, and I remember my first week here, I was walking past somebody, some old baba, and I smiled at her, and she like nearly ran away from me with her cane. And I'm like, why are people so afraid of that, you know? And so I said, no, I'm gonna keep smiling, and I'm gonna keep doing it until one day, after 50 years, people start doing it, and it's gonna make Subotica a better place.
That will be difficult.
I know. But can I ask you a question?
Of course.
How did that make you feel after a little while of people saying hello to you. Did it make you feel good?
Yeah, it's very nice.
It is, right?
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
You wake up, go out, and everybody smile. Hello,
Yes.
how are you today?
Yes, it's wonderful. I love that.
I had one woman. I slept in her house, and every day he asked me, like, how are you today? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. How are you? And she always tell me, that's good for you. I remember her voice. I had her. It's good for you.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, one more question.
Oh, okay. Let's see. 40.
40.
You know what? I have to say no. I have to say no because it's so funny because I was just talking about this with a friend of mine who's the same age as me. We're both 34 years old now, and I don't feel a day older than 25 years old. And I remember my parents used to tell me when I would think they were so old, you know, and they were only like 45. And I remember, you know, my dad especially, he would always tell me, I'm not old, I don't feel old, you know, I just feel so young, because my dad's a really young, vivacious guy. He's a rocker also in a rock band. And that's how I feel. Sometimes I feel like I'm even too young to have children. Like I feel like, am I even like mature enough to have these kids? You know, these kids need me. They depend on me, and I feel like a child still. You know, I feel like a teenager. It's really funny. So, no. And in terms of aesthetically, you know, growing old, no. I love the wrinkles on my face and the lines that I'm seeing, and I want to age gracefully. You know, like Audrey Hepburn. You know.
I have the same problem. My grandmother always ask me when I will have the grandchildren. And I ask, I don't know, I'm kid still.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay, do you have some plan now? You and Mickey, actually your husband, do you have some plan?
No, we're living it. We're living the dream. That's nice. Living the dream. Yeah, no. You know, like I said, my only, you know, Mickey has the Loco Lobo, which is doing great, and for me, you know, I just want to kickstart my makeup career here, and my goal is to go straight to the top. I wasn't joking when I said I want to be doing Sejca. You know, I want to go straight to the top. So I want to do, I want to work for television networks here. I want to do Serbian celebrities here. That's my goal. And I'll do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wish you luck.
Thank you.
How can people contact you if they want the makeup, like Angelina Jolie or someone else?
Oh yeah, Facebook is the best way to reach me, and from their own Facebook page, they just, in the name up there, you just want to type in Nataly, and then space LA Look, and LA Look is all together, LALOOK.
And I'm sorry if my English is not very good, and if you don't understand something, I'm sorry.
I understood everything.
Do you understand Serbian?
Yes, I do. I do. Nije sve, not everything, but I do understand.
What is the first word you learn on the Serbian? If it's the bad word?
I learned to count to 10.
Really?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes. Correctly.
Thank you.
And bad word?
I don't know any bad words. Can
Really?
you believe that?
No, I can't believe that.
Everybody thinks that those are what I know, and I don't. I don't know any bad words. None.
Mickey.
Oh wait, I do, but I'm not going to say it, but I do know one.
Okay, you will tell me later.
Yeah.
Mickey is probably some nice guy because you don't have.
He
you
is.
don't know the bad word.
Exactly.
Say hello for Mickey.
I will.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much.
That's all. I hope so that you enjoy here.
I will. I love it here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Poštovani gledalci, to bi bilo to. Nadam se da ste uživali u pričama, svakako zanimljivim pričama iz Hollywooda. Mi se vidimo sljedeći petak i nemojte da se začudite ako sretnete Nataliju, odnosno Nataliju u gradu, ako vam se ona nasmeše. Samo je dobro raspoložena. Prijatno, svako dobro, vidimo se sljedeći petak.